Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay. So we're going to try to pick up where we left off at all, or do you have any other parts you'd like to explore, get to know better, change your relationship with?
We are going to pick up in one of the places that we left off, but not exactly the last one, although I really want to get back to that too.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, there's a exterminator person knocking on my door. I'm going to ignore it.
If you want to take a minute, it's fine with me.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I listened back to one of our previous sessions. The one, it is not published yet, but it was one where we found a 7-year-old that was connected to this feeling of being out, closed off and outside of love and all of this.
Right. Looking under her sister's door.
Yeah. And a bunch of other stuff. And I've noticed sometimes when I check back in, she's not there. And in the car that I'm often referring to, I noticed I was having to put her there instead of her just being there like the other kid. And then we did that session, the last one we did, where there was another getting in the car thing. And I noticed that during that one, she was flickering. Everyone else looked solid and she looked almost like a hologram that was flickering. And then I ended up listening to, you had kind of pointed me back to Derek Scott's channel, and I watched a session with him where he was helping someone do an unburdening. And there were a couple things that I noticed in that made me think of this session.
Okay.
One of them was he pointed out the exile wanting to quickly go from the hurt feelings to some other happier memory. Yes. And I feel like that had taken place a little bit in this session. And also in this one that I watched, there was another exile that was kind of getting in the mix. And in the session that I'm referring to, which is 237, the younger kid showed up in the middle of it. And I think, it because it wasn't a protector,
Right.
she's right under both of our radars. Like, it seemed like a good thing for her to be there. But I think she was definitely trying to help out and be inclusive and, you know, be like, this is how I do it. But
Right.
I think it steered us away from the completion of that.
Okay, great.
So I think that, like, while she was receptive to, like, yeah, let's ride in this car and let's yell about things, I don't think that was hers.
Yeah, and she didn't come up with that, and she has some other things that maybe would help her feel complete in that.
Yeah. And so I've tried to find her again a couple times, and like, one of the things that kind of we discovered about her was that her protectors or her or whatnot had taught her to entertain herself. So it was like easy for her to kind of slink away and just, you know, go off by herself again. But there was one time that I was able to locate her, and it was at my parents' house. She was back at my parents' house again, and she was throwing a fucking fit, like, smashing things and yelling and crying and just like destroying the place. So it's clear to me that she has some other things that she needs us to help her with. So
was she alone in that scene?
Meaning, was I there, or what do you mean by that?
Was she doing that? Was that at all involving parents or someone else or other parts or anybody?
It was at parents. It was like she was yelling about things that we didn't get to in that session. One of which is that my mom gave her cat away. And she was royally upset about it. And I think she might have been kind of mad at me too for not making that connection, or not, you know, letting the other one get too much in the mix, and not giving her the space to share that too.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting. Couple turtles deep again.
It's so good. It's so clear. And you've done so much. You do so much work and, you know, observing what's going on, so that it's just great. It's like, yeah, if we make a mistake, we can fix it.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do have, and it's not strong right now, but it's come up a couple times as I'm, you know, like you're saying, I'm trying to be very thorough and to do the work in between. And I have a part that's like all concerned that I'm becoming a navel gazer. Like, oh, you're listening to some session about yourself again. And, you know, you're just like,
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, you know, you're spending a lot of time on, you know, picking around in here, which is kind of funny because it's in there too. But I need to get that squared away for a moment.
It's also, I mean, I was struck by like the whole, like, oh, you're listening to a session about yourself again. Like, in the big picture of your life, how often have you done that? You know, like, how often have you had a session that was really powerful for you? It was recorded and you were able to listen back to it and make real connections that you use going forward.
Yeah. And it also, you know, it also comes from my interest and fascination and to sit in the other seat, you know. So I'm observing I'm trying to observe from a zoomed out angle, but I always get more insight about myself from re-listening, sometimes more than once, navel gazer. So there's a part in there that's just like, oh God, you know, like, let's watch TV, which I never do. So yeah, I just need to kind of.
I know, with such interesting podcasts out there, who has time for TV?
Exactly. And I can move while I listen to a podcast, drive my car.
Yes. Okay, so you're asking the navel gazer for space?
Well, yeah, the anti-navel gazer.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm good.
Right. And now we're going to try to get back in touch with the 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Any other parts object to that?
I'm glad you said that, because I really thought I was there, but there's a little bit of apprehension about the strength of her feelings because of the scene that I saw where she was like, just tearing up place, seriously.
Yes.
Like, wow.
So if she's tantruming and her feelings are very big, then this part is concerned that what will happen?
It's just, I guess it's like a fear of vulnerability part. It's like, sure you want to go there kind of part.
Yeah. I'm curious, is that vulnerability as it's displayed with me or with a podcast, or is that all just an internal? Like if you weren't talking to me, would that come up?
Well, honestly, if I weren't talking to you, then I wouldn't be able to stay as grounded in it as I'd like to. So, there's always a little part that's like not wanting to expose all the parts to any other person. Right. And I think too, it's also a fear of feeling that magnitude of emotion.
Okay. So there's the exposure, and then there's just the feeling of it.
Yeah. Sometimes as soon as I say out loud, like when I said that about the fear of the magnitude of emotion, it felt like it just kind of dissolved.
But not the exposure part?
I think that one's settled. I think we're settled for the moment.
Awesome. Can always use the mute button.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks to that part for sharing what it needed to share and for giving space. How about now? Can you turn towards the 7-year-old? And reconnect with her?
Sometimes I have to kind of double check if I'm reproducing, like the tantrum scene, if I'm like imagining it to be where she is or if she's there. So let me see.
And sometimes that's a fine way to get there.
To her.
Where did I last see her?
Yeah. Yeah, she seems to be sitting to the side of that. Like I can see that, but it's not, she's not in it at the moment, which is probably good. Yeah. She's kind of, she's kind of like sitting in a chair next to it, almost as though it's being projected.
How do you feel towards her as you see her there?
All of the good ways.
Great. And does she notice you?
Yeah, but she's not like looking at me. She knows I'm there. She's projecting it for me, to me, but she's not like, looking to me. She's kind of just sitting there with her arms, like in a little chair with her arms crossed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You could just let her know why you've come to visit.
Yeah, I'm just telling her, sorry, we didn't realize what was happening last time with the other little one.
Me too.
I'm having to take a moment. Like, there's a part of me that jumps up that's like, we don't want James to feel bad. So let me get over that. Okay. She's mad. She's not mad at me, although she's less trusting, I think. She's really pissed that they gave her cat away. That's what the tantrum was about. Like, she was screaming and throwing things and yelling about that.
Okay. As far as the trusting you thing, what can we do differently? I'm asking you and her and me. What can we do differently to make sure that we don't skip anything this time? Or what would you like to see us do in working with her and getting to know her?
I think at this moment, she wants me to watch that film or that projection of her.
All right.
It's almost like, like an art exhibit, sort of.
Okay.
There's also this piece where she's got like these pigtails and bows in her hair and shit, and she's like ripping it out. She doesn't, not her hair, but the bows. I don't want the shit in my hair. Which I totally get.
And is she wanting to look at the tantrum thing or the mom giving the cat away? Like, is there a separate scene where she's experiencing that?
That she's not showing yet. I think she just wants me first to see the anger, because at that time there was never any expression of anger. I don't think I even could have at that age dared to feel angry. Or at least dared to let it show or to have it be directed at my mom.
Of course.
So I don't know, maybe she's just like, she just wants to express that.
Yeah, you all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
It's like the pigtails like the bows in her hair keep coming back, and she keeps having to remove them.
If it feels right, you could offer to help out with that.
She just wants her hair to be more like wild and not all. Maybe she wants her hair to kind of match the feel of this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now it's getting to the actual event. And there's a part that's popping up that always doubts my memory of this. Of like, is this really how it happened kind of thing? Mm-hmm. Because the way that I remember it is going outside, and I used to, because we weren't allowed to have any pets inside. And so I would go outside and I would clap my hands and she would come. And the way that I remember it is I went out there and clapped my hands and finally went inside, and my mom told me, I gave the cat away. I told you I was going to do that. And I just did not believe that she really was going to do that. So.
The way you remember it is the way you remember it. And that's what's in you.
Yeah.
Just in the interest of making sure that we're not moving too fast.
Yeah.
Does she say that she's done showing you the scene tearing up the room?
Yeah, she took me from, she came over and took, it's almost like she's got all this kind of planned. And she came over and brought me now to the backyard. So many interrupting parts. Like, there's a part that does not want me to say that she's telling me, like, I hate my mom.
Okay. It's okay for her to say that to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's saying, like, I am capable of anger.
Yeah.
I got a like rush in and hug part. I'm trying to avoid like interrupting her show.
Yeah. But you're feeling close with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just realized I was, rushing in to do that. And I think sometimes that's premature. So. It's like, trying to hurry up and get out of it or something. Not do that.
You could ask her what it was like to feel like she hates her mom, what it's like to feel like she's capable of anger and maybe she's not allowed to show it or others don't see that or.
Yeah. There's a part, there's always an interrupting. It's like, there's a part that
is trying to make her say that, like, that's not the only feeling that we have about our mom, and
sure,
all that.
Yeah.
Like, but all the other stuff.
Right. All the caveats.
Yeah, like there's a part that doesn't want this to be the official statement.
Yeah. It's only about what she's sharing emotionally to you about specific events, specific times.
It's weird that those bows keep showing up again and again and again, and she keeps having to get rid of them.
Investigate that. What's bringing them back? Is there a part in her that feels like she should have them?
Well, it's like the making her a nice, non-angry little girl looking part,
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Get this shit out of my hair."
So yeah, that could be considered another part then, a part that wants her to look nice, wants her to have the bows.
Wants her to also admit that she loves her mom, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, that part's going to have to chill.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like keeps getting just replaced and replaced. And I can tell that she just wants her hair free.
Well, and it sounds like it's done it quite a few times, so I would definitely
it's interrupting.
consider really directing some energy there, and just maybe we can shift to this part for a minute.
Okay.
See what it's concerned about.
Before I do that, though, I'm gonna say some things to her, like I'm gonna make her know that she's important, that I'm not gonna get completely drawn off course again.
No.
Okay. I cannot see this, make it nice part. I'm asking, like, why do you keep doing that? And it's like, we don't want it to look like we were like a demon child.
Yeah. And how do you feel towards that part?
I'm kind of offended by that. So I must be a little bit, yeah. I mean, I get it too. I think I'm half blended with this wild child that I didn't realize was wild last time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do understand that.
Yeah.
It is a very reasonable.
It really is.
Reasonable concern, yeah. And that probably was part of the apprehension about going here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, what I want to say is like, no one is going to think that. That's argumentative? I'm always wondering if I'm being too contradictory.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to think that. And I know that your self isn't going to think that. There may be other parts that think that.
Right. It's concern about the listeners.
Okay.
Which I know are hypothetical or, optional.
They don't exist yet.
No, they don't.
And they might think that.
Hey. Okay.
Right?
I guess it's fine.
We can't speak for all of them.
Right.
So I'm not saying therefore it's no big deal. I'm saying that's a valid point.
Surprisingly to me, that seems to have made it feel better. Surprised. Yeah, I guess because you're validating the concern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've managed to get that part calm enough.
Okay.
I feel like the part is agreeing that this is important,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's got that concern.
Okay.
Okay,
As usual, you'll have plenty of time to decide before if you choose to share this.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm ready to go back to her. She looks more adult than 7 now. Not adult, but just more adult than a 7-year-old.
How's her hair?
Oh, it's down.
All right.
Down.
The important question.
Yeah, I guess that was. Yeah. Yeah.
So she was showing you about her experience, finding out that the cat was gone, hating her mom.
Yeah, she's she's screaming about it a little bit to me. And I'm trying not to be overly, trying to make it better yet, if that makes sense. Just letting her have her feelings.
Yeah, and trying to understand them, trying to really connect with those.
Yeah. I'm just kind of getting on her level and saying, that was bullshit. I totally understand. And just keep letting it out if you need to, and whatever else you need to show me.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So she'll get calm and then she'll just start, going buck wild again.
Mm-hmm.
Like throwing paint on the walls or just a bunch of stuff. So mad. She's so mad.
How does she feel about you being there with her in all of this?
She seems, as it kind of changes from moment to moment. I've been experienced a moment where she didn't seem to want me there. But she'll kind of go from being interactional with me, for lack of a better word, and then she'll go back into kind of just letting me watch her break shit, or, yell or be angry. Seems to very much want me to understand,
Mm-hmm.
like how alone she was. And I mean, this is definitely no surprise to me. I'm a very connected with animals person, but like how important it was to her to have a companion of like an animal companion, and how angry she was that wasn't allowed. It's like, because like the feelings and the scenes that we saw last time were, just kind of getting sent off to be by yourself and not let in and told to play in traffic. And she's like, the least they could do is to allow this.
Right.
She's more towards me now. I'm telling her again, I'm sorry that I got, drawn off course. She's like, I'm not mad about that. It was enjoyable, but I wasn't finished.
Is there more that she wants you to understand about what it was like for her?
I'm digging, not insisting or anything, but I'm just checking. I think, she showed a lot of it to us last time.
Whenever it feels right, you can offer those other steps and let her know that she can have them all to herself and with you.
Steps? Oh,
the other
okay.
steps, the other unburdening steps, if you'd like to repeat any of those or whatever feels right.
I don't want to miss anything. I feel like the cat thing was the last. It was just a really big piece that didn't get. But I don't want to make any assumptions. So
just check with her and let her know that not only can you continue taking time to listen, but if more comes up later, that's okay.
So the next one would be to ask her where all of this is in her body. Is that correct?
You could also, you could offer to go back in her time and be there for her in the way she needed someone.
I was a little unsure what to do because, as I said, she is like trashed the place. And I couldn't figure out what she would want from me. And then I think I figured it out and kind of reconnected to the image of that cat and brought it back to her.
Yeah. Yeah, you got room for pets, right?
Yeah. At first I was like, here's a cat. But then I was like, she probably wants the cat.
Let her decide. Maybe she wants 10 cats.
That's a lot of scooping, James. She seems more adult than 7 again, and I'm assuming that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's common. I mean, you can let her know that she can inhabit whatever age she wants.
Okay. Yeah, she's like older than that now. Okay. I keep thinking she's kind of done, and then she'll just start like yelling again. So,
is there anything that she wants to go back in time and to revisit with you? Anybody she wants you to address with her or for her?
So, okay, I have a question. When you go back in time and you address things and do whatever, are you supposed to be behaving as self would behave? Because sometimes it seems like what I see when I ask that is me going in and being like, what the fuck? And that doesn't seem, It almost feels like somebody's jumping in.
Well, it's good to look out for that. I mean,
Yeah.
Self is allowed to say what the fuck. Right?
Thanks. Well, as soon as I get the permission to do that, then I see myself in, going in and being more calm and kind and, asking like, why would you do this? With more curiosity and all the things.
Yeah. It might also help to think that, Self is here for parts and for maybe other people in the world. But when we're revisiting memories, those aren't either of those things necessarily. Like,
yeah,
the figure of your mom that this part is remembering doesn't belong to you, isn't your part, and isn't a real person out in the world that you can harm. So I don't know. I feel like that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I guess the uncertainty that I have is, am I now being blended with another part or with her instead of maintaining self energy as I'm doing the work? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But it's okay. At this point, I can be in there saying what needs to be said without...
with courage and confidence and clarity and creativity.
And not necessarily cursing, although it is a C word.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. I keep getting this notion, and she wants to make sure no one's in there first, but I feel like she wants to burn the house down.
You okay with that?
Yeah. There was a slight, ping from the don't let us look like a demon child part, but we're gonna proceed. Have you ever had a part change their mind?
Sure.
Okay, because I told her she could do that, and she was like standing there with matches. I think she just wanted to see if I would let her do it. Oh, this is so interesting.
She can burn the house down and build back a nicer one if she wants.
Okay. It's like she... It was like, yeah.
But short answer, yes, I think.
Second thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah, let her do what feels right.
Okay.
She's in a safe space where, again, like I said earlier, hey, if we make mistakes, we'll just try again. We can rewind.
It seems she wanted to see it in flames, but then put them out.
Okay, do that.
It's just like, I think, one more like flare of owning her anger.
Yeah. Yeah, her anger's okay.
Better be. Oh. I can't get a sense of where she wants to go.
Okay.
Hmm.
So she's done revisiting memories, times when she'd like to have you around. Just redoing any of those past scenes.
I think so.
Okay. You two can go wherever you want. In time, in any vehicle you want, or without.
Do they ever? I see. It's weird. I see a bunch of different like options. I saw her like walking down the street. I saw her walking into some woods. I saw her staying at the house. I saw her by a campfire, throwing a wadded up ball of paper into it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where she wants to stay.
Maybe she's likes wandering.
Maybe. I also saw her like kind of snuggled up in her room with the cat.
Yeah. She didn't have to stay at any of those places.
Yeah. Okay. Well, apparently she just wants to have some options, I guess.
Great.
I offered her a car. She didn't seem interested, understandably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think what I want to communicate is like that I want to be able to find her.
Mm-hmm.
And she can go wherever she wants.
Yeah. How's she feel about that?
She seems to feel really good about that. Very calm, but adult looking again. I don't know why there's some part of me that's like having a problem with that as though this isn't, but it's her. Still the feelings were her.
Yeah.
I guess she wants to be more adult, which would make sense because she can choose all of the things for herself. So yeah, she hasn't decided yet where she's going to be.
Fine. I will point out that
Go ahead.
That with our last interaction with her, a problem was, or I don't know, a problem, but another part came up and kind of diverted.
Yeah.
You're working with her directly, so it makes sense that you would be on the lookout for that, of seeing like,
yeah,
if she seems like she's changing, then we would want to know if that's a different part.
Yeah.
So you might just ask her if she's the cat girl. She's the one from that scene earlier.
Yeah, I couldn't get a good answer at first, but then I said, "Are you my little demon child?" And she said, "Yes," and hugged me. So,
right.
Yeah, so.
That's great.
Okay. I think I think it's really done this time.
Okay. If you want, I could just throw out some other options to offer, whether you do them or not, or now or later, or never.
I'm always open to an option.
Yeah. So there's the checking in her body to see if she's still carrying anything that she'd like to take out, get rid of. There's. Do you want to respond to that?
Sorry. When you said that, she was like, did you see all that stuff I just like
okay, yeah.
all the screaming and the breaking and all the things? She's like, nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you. Obviously, it's good to have that box checked.
Yes, there is the making sure that you do know how to find her in the future. So it sounds like you're both on the same page. She can go where she wants as long as you know how to find her. That's what matters to you. Is there any discussion to be had about what that looks like, how to stay in touch with her, how she might get your attention, or that you can find her?
I think I have the answer to that.
Okay. And one last thing might be to check in with some of the protectors that we met along the way. Invite them to witness what's going on here, and the ones that are worried about the navel gazing, the ones that are worried about her image as a demon child.
They're all given a bravo, but the one about the image is still like, I still hope people don't think, like, I still hope people don't think we're a demon or whatever.
We'll help those people out.
Terrible. Okay.
maybe those people will call in and we can help them with their parts.
Okay. Yeah. I think everything's good, and that part is like good enough. Sometimes they're like, it seems to acknowledge that she's in a much better place.
Yeah, I love that. It really, I think we can make that mistake of saying, well, this is done. We never need to revisit this again. We already did this. Why would we waste time on this again, kind of thing? And that can be a big mistake, I think. So I really appreciate that. Seems all right. I mean, if that's where we can get, to me, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel good.
Cool.
And nothing feels like flickery or hologrammy or any of that. I'm not having to re-put her into the picture. Okay.
Awesome.
I think she got all that out.
Great.
A good bit of it.
Great job.
Thanks. Ditto.
Okay. Look forward to speaking with you soon.
All right.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.